his own channel, and I'm just putting in the reps, man. But it's kind of funny. I'm sitting here going, "What's today's date?" And I'm looking at the day. I'm going, this day. Turn this down. I'm always listening to something. Let me put a pause on that, or at least take this time. So I'm going here, February 14th. February 14th. This day is. I know this day. This day means something somewhere, and the hilarious part of it is that what's the day? Today is what? Hold on. I think it's coming through my phone. I'll be right back. Hold on a second. To get myself. You guys do a background as well. So anyhow, I'm sitting here going. I'm sitting here looking at this thing, and I'm going 14th, the 14th. What does the 14th? Yeah. What is that day? You know a man is completely divested, completely, and is done with all of that madness with you females. If he doesn't even care, it didn't even cross my mind. Valentine's Day. What day is that? February 14th. Oh man, I guess this must be Nirvana. I guess this is what men talk about, right? Being, if it wasn't for, I mean, this is not our day. Let's just put it like that. We don't give a flying flip about Valentine's Day, man. And wow, funny as hell. I'm working, doing everything. I said, let me go on live and do what I'm supposed to do and create some type of content for today as part of my challenge for this week. And glory have mercy. I am so off the market and so happy to be that way. It is ridiculous, man. Don't even know today's Valentine's Day. Hey, man, I wish this for all the men in the world that they can wake up on Valentine's Day and not know what day it is until almost like 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Noon, whatever time it is here with me. I wish this for you guys, man. If I can give just one gift to every man in the world, is to wake up on Valentine's Day, not know what day it is, not care, not be reminded of it, and figure it out somewhere that, hold on, today is Valentine's Day. Man, no wonder I feel so great today. I don't know it's Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness. Anyway, just wanted to chime in with you guys. And as it's, I know that putting this a little bit closer to my face, though it works pretty well, though this thing works extremely well, I really don't need to position it directly, even though it's a directional mic, directly in front of my face to get great audio. So anyway, while I'm coming on today, man, the title of this show, the stream of the show, the title is something along the lines of, going through the crossroads of life and being a black content creator in my 50s, in the process of going through that. And you can't do this without some sort of backup plan or something fueling the engine, something keeping the bills paid or something going on. And as novel as this might seem, this is something I've been kind of in the arena of for some time. I've been in media based on my business marketing for years. And this is how I picked up the skill of film, or even the love of it, the technical side. Something about my brain that when it comes to figuring out a problem, or if it makes sense and it's logical and I can work towards the end of it, I'm willing to work through that process. And film is also a creative process, a highly technical but creative process. So it's right in line with how my brain, how my psyche, just how my flow is. So if you ever wanted to know, like, how do I tick? That's one of the things that makes me tick involving myself in something that's extremely creative, but also extremely right brain. Both left and right brain is how I work. I need a little bit of both. I need a mental challenge and also need a creative outlet. So that leads me to content creation. And over the years, I've been creating content for my business, SIS. And that's my approach to content. It's never been just to literally, I just want to pick up a camera, start shooting some stuff. It had always been a relationship between a business and needing media to promote that business. So my approach to this world comes through that. My love for it came through understanding the power of creating cinema, the power of creating stories and drawing people into a story and literally having them immersed in it and lose minutes, time immersed in a story that brings them some sort of emotive response is not necessarily joy, even though the Hollywood formula is based on the hero wins and gets the girl. But people watch all types of content. And one of the pieces of types of content that people really love to watch is organic content, meaning just coming on live and just talking to people and showing them your life and bringing them into your life. One of the reasons I left the other room that I was in is because I wanted to give you another reflection of what my life is like and have another space to change up the view and also change up the monotony on my channel. So when I'm speaking directly to people and adults in this way, I thought this would be a better setting, which leads me today to the topic at hand, which is insights in the mind and look into the mind of a 50-year-old man. That's me, anybody who's listening, that's attempting to establish a footprint in content creation across the board, but initially on YouTube and using all the other platforms to enhance and also to branch off into if necessary. So the sketching of the business plan is pretty sketchy, but it's sketched. And if you don't have a plan and you want to achieve something, take a moment. It'll save you a bunch of time and energy. Sit down and figure out exactly what you think you want it to be. Come up with your plan. As don't use the word business plan because that might be intimidating, but it's basically what you're using. Use any words you want to use, but map it out. Figure out step one, step two. And it may be rough. It may not even make sense to anyone else. And it may not even make sense to you when you come back to it. But at least you sketch something out and now you have a plan. And once you have somewhat of a plan, sound or otherwise, you can work that plan. And if it's not a sound plan, you can tweak it, you can fix it, you can work on it. So get your plan together. So anyway, the plan is pretty much set. You know what I mean? Create YouTube videos in a couple of genres that I've been thinking of. One in travel video and combining that with music. And two with the Legacy of Learning program that I have, the book I wrote, which for me is really a passion. And it's a purpose more than a passion. It's even more important than that. I think the things that I was able to figure out in educating myself and learning how I work in my brain and how to make sure that I can always use this vessel and all the attributes that I've worked on and that was given to me to always be productive. And that's what that book is about. And so that to me is more of a purpose that's attached to than a passion. I think it's if you have something to offer the world that makes the world better, then you shouldn't hold on to it. And I think this really will help young people, especially in the places where I'm from, especially if they're a male, that this particular thing that I wrote, this book, can help jumpstart and move people in the right direction and help change the trajectory of your life academically, tactically, and also help others. So that to me is pretty much sound. So now I'm getting into the nuts and bolts of it, and it's wearing me out. So I'm looking for help. I'm looking to get with people that know stuff. I want to get in a room where I'm the dumbest content creator. Those rooms aren't easy to find or to get into without paying a hefty bill or dollar. And that comes with the first part I mentioned. You know, if you're doing this, it comes with some kind of payout that you have to put in the beginning. If you have nothing at all, makes it really difficult. So you do have to fund this pursuit that you have in media. So I'm dealing with all of these things. Good thing I've been blessed in a number of ways. For every blessing, there's a challenge and a problem. Either you had to go over or it's coming up. So I mentioned a blessing with that in mind, with the humility that's needed when you say, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, but yeah, I just got over this and I know something else is coming. That's what I mean by that. So very level-headed in that regard. So blessed enough where I have enough skills and background that I can stay gainfully employed and at the same time pursue making this purpose, passion, purpose come to fruition. So I finished the book, did all that. And I don't want to bore you guys again. I know you're tired of hearing this stuff. So now I'm sitting down with none to few subscribers, but with this vision, I know that I know has something there of value, and now to reach people. Now there are people on the other end. It's just that the connection isn't made, right? So that's where the hanging around people smarter than me in this industry, learning from them, reading their books, watching their YouTube vlogs, and that's what's going on here behind me, watching their segments on how to grow and connect with an audience. And the biggest problem I'm running into is what I state in my book is that people tell you what to do, but they rarely, I'm not going to say that word again, it is very infrequent that people sit down with you and literally show you step by step exactly how to do the thing they're telling you to do. And that's how my mind works. I need show me at least one run through how you do what it is. Don't give me the material. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear about your anecdotal experiences. None of that. I need you to take me and show me how to do X. If it's taking off a gasket, take me to the gasket, open the hood of the car, pull out the whatever needs to be unhook do it. Watch. I want to watch the process, and that's one of the trappings in how I learn. I literally have to learn step by step everything. So it takes me a while, even though I'm not dense. It's just the way I learn. It takes me a while to get to the curve, and I know this. This is one of the reasons I encourage you to go through the process of the Legacy of Learning book I wrote, because you learn yourself. You learn how you learn. And I know because I have to break down each detail before I move on that it's going to take me a while to hit the ramp and head up. But once I hit the curve, it's over. I mean, it's a rocket booster moment with me with my victory cigar in hand, and I know I'm about to light this sucker because I already did all the minutia, all the crazy stuff. I've already in line with the word of the week, the word I used yesterday, and I have to come up with one today. So I'll figure it out while we're flying the ship. The word parse. I have to parse everything and break it down into its components and see how they interrelate. I'm learning that as I go. Many folks will learn the fundamentals and move on and then somehow come back around when time is needed back to the things they needed to learn in detail. I'm doing that as I go, which for me makes it a lot easier for when I do get involved with something. You may have done it for 3 months, but I took 6 months to get it all under my hat. But I know this stuff back and forth because that's how I learn. Now I can spit with the best of them on the things that I was supposed to or had learned. So that's how I think and that's how I learn. I know me. And I know things take a while. And I also know that I push, especially in the beginning. And I had to learn to stop doing that or push to a certain degree and then let go and let the thing roll on its own. All that being said, these are insights of a 50-year-old entrepreneur, black male that's trying to make content on a platform or platforms that literally have a space and a place for everybody. So, where's my place? And I'm reading these books and I can't get out of a few of the chapters in this one. So, bring you back to this book again. So, I'm reading this thing and I'm making headway and I moved on to other chapters, but watching another YouTuber, vlogger, or educator, I'm watching maybe three or four of them right now in tandem as they try to work out my problems I'm having, or I'm trying to work it out. And it's literally a drain stuck with, it needs Drano in it for me at the moment. And it's particularly frustrating. I think this is where I'm supposed to be and what they talk about when they talk about success, content success anyway, on a platform like YouTube. I'm in the process of literally coming to the, I'm, you know, I'm just manning up on the fact that who my audience might or might not be and trying to remove myself. I'm making content. I'm thinking it's something that people want to watch or something that I'd be excited about producing. And that's one of the things they try to tell you to do, but not to do. It's not for you, it's for your viewers, for your audience. Now, how do you make stuff for an audience if you don't know who they are and you don't have metrics? That's one of the ways they find out who your audience is, or that's one of the ways you can find out. This is a learning moment. That's why I'm sharing this, and I'm using this particular moment or time to literally sit and chat, because this is what I value sometimes from someone content I'm consuming. Someone that will look at you and literally just talk to you, talk with you, have conversation with you. And in a minute or two, once I get this part down, the technical side, which is the platform I'm using to stream on, being able to pull it all in together into one stream, all the multiple platforms that I'm using or would like to use, and then getting everyone in the same room so I can then interact with you. So, which solves a couple other problems. A black man, it's a male that has been through the gamut of life, education, family, divorce, kids, and now I'm on the other end where it didn't kill me. And I say that, as a triumph, not just for me, just but also to let other men know, if you're out there listening, that you can survive. You will make it through some of the trappings that are put in front of us. And if you're stupid in the beginning, especially, we all are, all of us. And I was the dumbest of the dumb. And men are stupid because we're programmed a certain way, we're taught by women, and then we're socialized a certain way. And before we know it, we're caught up trying to please them and doing all this other stuff that society tells us we need to do. But we didn't take time in a moment to develop ourselves to become the men who we need to be first, whoever that man is, before we start doing anything for anybody. You know what I mean? So for somebody who has fallen into that ditch and had to climb his way out of it and taken years to do so, and I saw it. I saw the ditch I was in. I said, "Oh no, I'm deep in a ditch." And the depression that comes along with it, not the classical depression, what people try to use as a means of not to move on in life, but the rational response to knowing where you are. That's what I mean. But literally, I'm stuck in a damn hole with this life I'm in at the moment, and I've committed to some things that I have to see to fruition, which is the raising of my children. I'm stuck, and I'll be stuck for some time. But never in my life, never in a moment during that time did I say to myself that, I'm basically done. It's not even in my DNA, you know, and to ever think that whatever it is that I'm going up against, has defeated me. It may have whooped me for that moment, that day, even that period of time. But knowing myself and knowing how I learn, I know that as relentless as I am, that there's nothing that I've achieved without being relentless and not going through the gauntlet. So I knew at some point in life I'd be out the gauntlet and took steps towards that. So if you're stuck somewhere and you can't get out of it, then you need to start thinking how to get out of it. It's just as simple as that. Stop worried up doing the woe is me. And I've been good at transitioning from the woe is me moments, which are very few, and I really don't even go there particularly. I'm more or less like, this is the problem I have. It's really got me down. But now, okay, I'm stuck here. It's going to take me just as much time or longer to get out of it. So what's next? What do I do? The first step, the second step. What do I need to do to crawl up out, to get a grip and crawl up out this hole? On the other side of that hole is this. It's me, and I'm just an avatar. The person that ends up in this situation, but still knowing that the purpose that I'm here for has never changed, and the pursuit of it will never stop. So while I'm involved with that process and I'm finding my mojo again, my happiness, I don't want to use that word, but my purpose is more important, because I don't really care about happiness. I care about being purposeful and doing what I'm supposed to do, which then leads to happiness ultimately. So happiness is not really a pursuit. And I don't hear men don't really talk like that. It's something that you hear women, quite frankly, use all the time, happiness. Men are more concerned about their purpose. And I think that by definition is our happiness. So how I'm here going, okay, I have all the technical wherewithal. I'm able to communicate effectively. I'm able to interact with people. I've done this throughout my entire life. I've done sales, I've done entertainment. So I have the basic raw materials. So should this work? And I'm thinking arrogantly in the beginning, yeah, I should be able to kick anybody's butt. But I was at an awards show for content creators not too long ago. Part of my work that I do, my gainful employment as an executive security guard. And it's an award show. I think it was called forget the name of it, but it's basically something, the Tubies. It has something to do with basic video and content creation. And the place, the hotel in Century City that hosted this event was packed. It was a 12 to 14-hour day. And just like any other award show, there were stars, like people that were just killing it in content creation, that had done so much views of content, and whatever they did and hours viewed and reaching out, and money they created and how they affected people around the world with their content. The superstars of this realm were all here. And I'm looking at these people and I'm going, okay, it's nothing special. It's not like Hollywood. You don't pick them based on beauty. So these people are coming out all shapes, sizes, looks, hair colors, everything. And trust me, there's a star in every type of demographic, look, style of hair, shape of body. There is a superstar there, because by no means were these people, quote unquote, the Hollywood attractive type. For most of these people were just regular, quirky, kind of interesting people that found themselves and found people like them, or people that appreciated who they were, what they were doing. And they found them across the world and they brought them in, and they started communicating with them. So these people, to me, as impressive as the accomplishments they've made in their particular field, typically could be just a regular nerd that's living next door to you, who never comes outside, who plays chess all day or something, or video games. And that guy is making millions of dollars a year on YouTube or on some platform. Lo and behold, Hollywood does not have a lock on who is a star. You know what I mean? So you're a star is basically what I'm being told, that anybody and everybody is a star. God gave you something and it's special. So as long as you're able to get that specialness to the forefront, and then people can see it. You can now bask in your stardom, right? So anyway, these people were able to figure out their audience. But at the beginning of something like this, what's your audience? How do you know who your audience is? And that's what I need help with. Someone to literally, but no, it's not going to happen. No one's going to come down and give you that. This is your audience moment. Go for it. Go get them. And that's literally the beginning. All this other stuff that you may or we may be doing before our business gets going or it's erected or moving or group. You're not doing anything. You're not doing shit until you pinpoint who your audience is. So I've spent a lot of time over the past few weeks, this month, in this portion of the chapter, even though I've read along and have read on. So now I'm back again because I thought I had who it was, but I didn't. I kind of glossed over it. Who's my audience? So my biggest problem as a 50-year-old content creator is creating academic or tactics on academics. I'm not teaching school by any means, but tactics on learning and how to master school and little quirks and trips and little things, tactics and so forth. Tips and tricks is what I'm trying to say to get through it. Just basic stuff that you add them all up. I'm wondering who's my audience. Now, if I'm thinking if you're in college, it's the college age student, right? But you get interested in college where late, your junior year, senior year in high school, and then you decide maybe, hey, I'm serious about this, or I know I'm going to college. There are those people too. But this type of course, to me, I'm trying to find out who the course and the content is two different things. The content is this. The course is getting yourself together, something you do with me giving you coaching, maybe by videos and by a course, but it's something you do. Then the actual channel, this part is something we do. I interact with. It has nothing to do with the actual book. So I'm trying to figure out how to approach and who my audience is. So is it the student? Now, any age, you can find students that would like to increase their GPA, but how this book is written and the actual exercises inside of the book tells me that it's for an older audience, someone that's really now has to dead set on what they need to do for life. And that normally starts somewhere when you're about to get out of high school because everyone's telling you that you're an adult and you need to start your life. And I don't really believe that because at 18, I couldn't think of it a worse time to be pushed out into the world to do everything that I'm supposed to do as a quote unquote man. No, I wasn't a man yet. I was on my way. I have all the good stuff and, involving myself in all the right things. But it takes a while for a young man to become a grown man. And it does not happen at age 18. So I'm looking at students that are transitioning from high school to college that are going to need this immediately, but are they my audience? I'm also looking at college students that are literally in college already, doing their thing. I do think this would be my audience. But so what would be my age group or demographic? Students anywhere from age 17 to maybe 23. And is that an audience that I want to interact with on an ongoing basis? I'm in my 50s. So these are the concerns, the problems I'm having with my audience. But take myself out of it, and I do that, and I shouldn't have did it there. I should be concerned about them. But yes, will they be interested in listening or watching me and how I create this content? So that's just, if that was my demographic, then I would hone in on these type of concerns. What do I make for them, right? Who are they? What do they do? How do they spend their time? All this type of stuff, the psychographics that go along with them. And then I'm thinking, it's something I'm missing because there's always something missing. Trust me. When it comes to marketing, there always is, and there's no guesswork to it. And though my approach is an intuitive approach, test, tweak, and I've done this with all my businesses, the metrics part, the numbers part has been the hardest part. meaning that it's not something I had to rely on because I was immersed in it enough and parsing everything as I went that I was just receiving data, but not numerically. In other words, I was seeing the data happen and adjusting to it, other than getting it in a spreadsheet that or a graph form, basically data analytics. If you're doing it every day, the data is you. However, it's a little bit different now. I'm approaching content creation and I have to reach out to people all across the entire globe and try to find who they are. I can't do that organically. I can do things here. I can do things in my local city. I can do things, on the internet that may even be considered somewhat organic. But to reach people, to find them, or have an algorithm, an AI algorithm, find them or put me in front of them is a whole nother conundrum, a whole nother ball of wax that I'm dealing with, and it's killing me, man. And I think the reason it's killing me is because I've taken the heed of those that have come before me that tell us this, you need to know who your audience is. So I'm also thinking that these students, how equipped am I to listen to anybody? I'm in the middle of school, doing what I'm supposed to do. My grades are okay. Do I really want to read another book? So is that the way to get to them directly? Or I'm thinking it's through the people that support them. Primarily, if you have them, it will be your parents. Would parents read this book? Would they be interested in? So I'm thinking my other demographic that I need to hone in on, like a laser, would be people that are concerned about people around them that are seeking to achieve. Basically, people that care about students, that have students, people that care about kids, young adults, and the services and the programs and all the extracurricular activities that students have involve these type of people. Should those be the people I approach? So that's my biggest problem in a nutshell right now. And and then once that is solved, then the problem or the next thing to solve is how to reach them. So what I'm doing here is taking you through, I guess, what someone in my position, hopefully, you know somebody and this will help you, or you can pass it on to someone. But this is the kind of conversation you would be having with yourself, with your team. And because I'm pretty much of a lone shark as I am, and maybe have run off everybody around me in my life, and I've done some of this purposefully. I've literally said, listen, I don't understand the relationships that I'm having with people, that I want to do certain things and I have certain goals and aspirations and I want to create, move, and build and become a mover and shaker in whatever I'm doing, an intellectual ultimately, and a master at my craft or whatever those crafts or that craft might be. I'm not moving with those people. I wasn't. So and maybe because it's me, maybe I run off to those type of people. I don't know what it is, but the change in that atmosphere and in that part of my world has also been made too. So I find myself completely alone at these moments, this moment now, because I've cleared house. And clearing house, something I offered in one of my other vlogs, helps you focus because now you don't have all the distractions of people and things that aren't supposed to be in those places in those times. And now they're gone. Now what are you going to do? You're going to do a live vlog is what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm doing that today, sharpening my chops. So the insights of a black entrepreneur male in his 50s that has gone through major portions of his life and realized that still what I've lent my life to and given my and sacrificed for, um, meaning not my purpose. I've sacrificed and done other things which I knew I should have done, may have done a little bit differently, but I committed to. And so those things are out the way. So now what? Now what? Right? And so if you're going through building a business, especially if it's digital, this is one of the problems you're going to have if you are not here already. Hopefully, you have passed this point. If you have, reach out, say what's up, and maybe share some of your insights and trials and tribulations in figuring out who your audience is and how to get to them. So that's what's going on today with me. And so if this is exactly where I think it is, meaning the thing I'm missing, which are the parents, and then also the students of those parents, I think the approach I should take is through the people with the means to purchase the course, even though I give it away. But if I intend to turn this into a money making enterprise, and I am, and I do, and I will, I need to affect the people that will actually reach into their pocketbook, their purse, their wallet, open it up and pull out a card or punch in their card and their CVS number, whatever that number is on the back, and literally pay. And students kind of are broke. So this is the problem I'm having. So it's going to get solved, man. This week, I'm going to be done with the approach to business plan, the marketing plan in particular, and I'm going to launch it. So this is my commitment to me through this platform. I'm going to launch it. The other insights I have as a black man is that black men out there, I'm going to start talking to you guys, man, one on one in conversations, maybe 20, 30 minutes long, if that. And we need to start talking about our trials and tribulations. And I don't mean crying over them, the women, or anything else. Literally stating what the problem is, parsing out the problem, and coming up with the solution. And I would like to work with men like that, men who want to build the new society, as I would call it. Um, Akon comes to mind. If you have enough millions and access to billions, then you can do this on the scale he's doing it on. Akon is going across to Africa and building Akon cities. I dare say that I may get there in life. I have so much time left, and if I do get there, you know, um, come up and say what's up. Say you said you wanted to and you did, but we can do this on our terms and on our level. We can get together as black men and do things together positively. And one of the things I want to do positively is build a media center where we can do a bunch of things. One of them being things like this, um, and projecting our vision and our power and our problem solving throughout the world and getting others and making it infectious. So, anyway, the reflections of a black man is that I'm good, man. I'm glad I did what I did and got through the things I've gotten through and literally shaken off the, you know, the stuff off the shoulder and just brushed it off and kept going, even though some of these chips were pretty hefty. And I had to fix my psyche to go along with it. And still in the process of doing that. But I think I'm doing it right. I think I'm back on the path. And you guys, man, if I can take every black man and have him skip certain mistakes that we make in life or that we made, woo, as a group, we're moving and we're grooving and we're doing great as a community. The statistics show that. But if we weren't getting into these relationships and having these children with these women initially and getting caught up, and we can't help ourselves, man. We literally can't. The beauty and the attraction and everything else that comes along with the other side. We're wired for it. We can't help ourselves. But if we were able to exact just a little bit of um, cultural discipline for that would, check everything. If we were just to say no to all the madness that's coming from all around us and set a plan and attack and flow and move and groove and do what we're supposed to do somewhere into our mid 30s, I think the rest of our lives would be so much more fruitful. And if we weren't having these kids ahead of time or marrying the wrong lady and doing all this type of stuff as a community, we would be doing okay. You find a man that has realized that at this age. Now, if you would have told me stay away from the booty and not get some and all that back then, I probably would have thought you were crazy. And yeah, and if you think I'm crazy, then I understand completely. 100% I do. But there's something to be said for putting your head down for about 10 years and not letting anything distract you and being on course. It'll pay off for the rest of your life, man. You know what I mean? Women have another paradigm. and I'll let women talk to you guys. I'm talking to the men. So anyway, these are my reflections as a black male that's an entrepreneur that's trying to build a business in content creation, and literally being just seeming like I'm Hawaii, one of the small islands in the South Pacific, and the only way to get around is on a kayak to get to the next island because there's no one here. So that's what I'm trying to solve. I'm trying to solve my new community, my new life, my direction, pretty much set. And in the next month, in the next few weeks or so, a few decisions will be made that I think will set the course for the rest of my life. If I start traveling, which I intend to do, and start capturing travel, it's going to take me all over the world, and it's going to take me away from here. So what will I become? A global nomad? You know, certain things I won't be able to do if I get into coding and I start coding, I'll have to stay stationary for a while. So that may prevent me from traveling. So within the next couple of weeks, I'll be making these decisions. And I pray and hope for everyone that is in my position, men that are understanding that, hey, I got to figure it out, and no one comes to the aid of a man, a black man in particular, to help him, become successful. No one shows up and knocks on your door and says, "Hey, man, I'm here to help you become successful." That just doesn't happen with us. So I pray for all of the people like me in that situation that has come through a bunch of stuff in life, have achieved in many ways, but have finally have everything lined up where you are the noise, all the radio noise, just everything in life, you were able to cut off all of those frequencies and realign yourself with the communication with the one you think is in control, if that's how you think, and then realign yourself with who you are, minus all the filters that were assigned to you, removing all that stuff and becoming the person that you were intended to be, and then finding your purpose, and then finding your passion that goes along with that purpose. I wish that for you guys and I pray that for you. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll be back on a daily basis just to talk to you guys, my audience, on the Ron Raphael channel, man. The insights of a content creator, black male content creator, in his 50s, trying to appeal and achieve in the world and find his I guess his position again in this world, that as if it were ever lost. I'm sure it wasn't, but just getting back on course and doing what I think and I'm supposed to do here on this planet. So anyway, shout out to you guys like me, and I catch you next time I go live on the Ron Raphael Show. All right, y'all. Peace. Man, got to figure this out. And you guys get going, man. Whatever it is you're doing, I don't care what it is. Even if you just start for 5 minutes this day, whatever it is, the thing, this is get going week. Get going. All right. Pick it up, dust it off, plug it in, whatever the thing is, but start it up and get it going today. It won't get anywhere until you start. So start it up. Peace.